This video is for me. Sometimes I need to hear myself talking. Do not cut corners. Do not cut corners. Why am I saying that? Because I cut a corner. Trying to save money. And guess what? It didn't. It didn't. I'm upset with myself. But I'm going to get over it. But the Lord had told me, sit down, Sarah. When Sarah was impatient, wanting the promise of God to come about, what did she do? She got Hagar, her handmaid, to sleep with her husband. And Hagar got pregnant and had Ishmael. Yeah, she couldn't wait. I know somebody else who couldn't wait. You're looking at her. So, I am paying the price. Lesson learned. So I'm sharing with you. But God is still good in this process when we mess up. And He was speaking to my heart a couple of days ago. He gave me, just out of the blue, He said, launch out into the deep. And I'm thinking, you talking to me? Yeah, He was talking to me. Launch out into the deep. And I got to thinking, I was like, okay, let me Google that and see what comes up. And there was actually a sermon. Launch out into the deep. And I was like, And then it's scripture. It's scripture. It's Luke 5:4. Now, when He had left speaking, He said unto Simon, launch out into the deep and let down your nets for a drought. In other words, for a catch. And Simon answering said unto Him, Master, we have toiled all night and nothing. Nevertheless, at thy word, I will go ahead and let down the net. So Simon is a fisherman, so he knows when the fish go down really deep, when it's where it's colder, and in the daytime it's probably not going to be a good time to fish. But Simon answering him say, okay, we've done this thing all night and taken nothing, but okay, in faith. Nevertheless, at thy word, I'll let down the net. Because you have done these miracles that we've heard about before. So I don't know. Maybe you can do a miracle now. Verse 6. And when they had done this, they enclosed a great multitude of fishes, and their net brake. So they did the thing that God asked them to do, that Jesus was saying to do, and the net broke. And they beckoned unto their partners. There were so many fish because of obedience and acting in faith that not only did the net break, but the people who were with them, their nets broke too, which were in the other ship, a whole nother ship, that they should come and help them. And they came. They got to be thinking, what is going on here? How did you catch so many fish? How did this happen? And then they look, I'm sure, and they see Jesus. And they came and filled both the ships, so that they began to sink that many fish. All because of obedience, listening to God. When Simon Peter saw it, he fell down at Jesus' knees, saying, "Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord." For he was astonished. "You did this for me?" And all that were with him at the draught of the fishes which they had taken. And so was also James and John, the sons of Zebedee, which were partners with Simon. And Jesus said unto Simon, "Fear not, from henceforth thou shalt catch men." And when they had brought their ships to land, they forsook all and followed him. So I would hope that I would have done that too, after you see the miracle that had just been done, that you'll just leave it all and follow him. But I was thinking about when I left the station in 2014, and it was so scary until God began to speak to my heart and said, "You have a lot of faith, but could you quit your job?" And then I went on a walk, and in the walk he said, "Do you really believe God provides? Do you preach it? Do you just say that? Do you really believe it?" I wrestled with that, and I was like, okay, that's like if I don't, then I'm like a hypocrite and a liar, and I don't like either one. So, okay, I believe it. The second thing he said was, "If you fail, I fail. In God, there is no failure." Okay, well, that's true. Okay, so I'm like wrestling with that. And anytime I would have a question like, well, what will I do? How will I earn an income? It would go back to the same circle. Do you really believe God provides? If you fail, I fail. In God, there is no failure. And then the third thing he said was, and this is what did it. He said, "If you are my hands and feet, I need you to be free to be at work in the world." I felt so free. There was just like light. It was just like opening. And I knew that I had to quit my job at Channel 8. So I did. That was July 13 of 2014. So it's coming up on 10 years, and I'm going to be celebrating. So why am I telling you that story? That was a story of faith. But here's what's happened, because I was talking to God today, and I was like, what's happened to my faith? What's happened to my faith? Do I have that kind of faith? And I don't know that I do. I had it then. I've had it when I used to call them Peter walks that Hunter and I would do when we needed a miracle, really. Miracle. And I think we did 2 Peter walks. That's what I call them, because you should, during those walks, you have to have your eyes on Christ. Because Peter, when he put his eyes down, he started sinking. So the goal was to keep our eyes on Christ no matter what was happening in the circumstances around us. And so I like to pay for Hunter's school, and not have like credit card payments. This was when she was in high school at Holland Hall. And it was like, that was, at that time, it was $16,000 a year. And I was paying for it by myself. And it was a struggle. It was a struggle. So I don't know how it came up, but it was, I just knew it was a Peter walk. So that's what I started calling it. And the thing that was really, that I remember about the Peter walk, I remember my mom, wanting to help us out. And, she's asked me, do you need some money to help with Hunter's school? And I said, no, we're doing a Peter walk. So Mom, Granny, aka Granny, she went and asked Hunter. She went and asked Hunter, do you need some money? You need something? And Hunter said, no, Granny. We're on a Peter walk. Isn't that good? Love that. I love the faith. So, where's my faith now? It's not where it needs to be. It's not where it needs to be. So, as God is speaking, He's saying, launch out into the deep. So I'm wondering, okay, where is the deep? Because I'm, trying here, and seeing where God is using me or calling me, which area He's calling me to. And it's like, I'm just trying different things to see if that is where He is launching me into. I don't know. But it's exciting because I'm going someplace. I'm doing something. He's calling me out into the deep. And so, So, and then He gives me songs. I love it because He'll give me songs. And so one of the songs, is CeCe Winans. It wasn't easy. Beautiful song. It wasn't easy. The sacrifice that Christ made for us. It wasn't easy to be on the cross. It wasn't easy. And then I thought this was it, but it's not. It's over there. Anyway, the song is Oceans. And it's the Father and Son, Eni, E-N-N-I. Francis, I think is his name. That's the version you want, Oceans. Where my spirit, something about the deep. And it was like, oh, that's why He's giving me a song. So I had it printed out. I thought this was it, but this was from my lesson this week. But the words, it's just like comfort for me. So yeah, I know He's launching me into the deep. Don't know what that means, but I know that it's a faith walk. It's a Peter walk. It's another Peter walk. This time, it's like the Peter walk is by myself. Because before I did it, it was Hunter was in school. It was for financial reasons. I guess now it's kind of for financial reasons too. But launch out into the deep. So, obedience and not trying to move ahead of God is one of the takeaways for me. Yeah, not trying to move ahead of God. Wait patiently. Yeah, and trusting God in the process. So, I just need to hear myself talk tonight. Not bad. 14 minutes. That's all. May God talk to you more clearly and launch you into the deep with Him.